everybody. Welcome to Vaccine Crew, where everything is happy and nobody is sad. Which I feel like is the tagline for just every Retroverse game for the last, 6 months or something.
It's fine.
It's fine.
Our mascot.
I got the wrong dice because I forgot I'm not playing Sammi.
Oops.
Spoiler, Sammi is not here, obviously.
She had to take a call.
For those who may or may not remember, last session, everybody went to the Henshin Museum and got a huge lore dump and some really cool history stuff, and a lot of cool, awesome VO work by Bob. And they met Yost. And Vina punched him, I think.
She did.
And then hugged him.
Just the one time.
Just once.
Listen, I've been planning to do that since I disappeared. So,
and Sammi also learned that Passion and her team had gone up against the Anarchist, and that Passion had fallen in battle. It was Passion's astral spirit, Salem, who delivered the news. And Sammi was immediately resolved to go to Del Diablo, regardless of anything. Yost did warn her not to go, but that if she did decide to go, to make sure that she at least took the ring off. And I believe we left off with you guys standing alone in that garden to deciding what to do now. In Ranger Command. Sammi is still currently with you guys. But spoilers, to keep continuity, she will be leaving soon.
Mm-hmm. So what should we do now?
I'm gonna go and help those guys. Yeah, make sure that we get Passion back.
Okay, take these for good luck, and I give you Hertz's glasses to keep continuity.
Oh yeah, I forgot that happened. I never added them to my character sheet.
Also, Lyra apparently pulls the bag out of her ass, I guess, and just hands it to you. And this is a packed lunch I have for some reason.
You telling me Lyra doesn't leave the house with a bag lunch?
No, she totally does. It's canon.
Simon quirks one eyebrow, looks over at the two of them and their spontaneous generosity, kind of pats his pockets and pulls out a folded up piece of paper and makes a little origami crane and says, "Here you go."
Sammi gets some Optimus Prime stuff where all the Autobots just merge with him, you know?
I love it, thank you.
I don't know if it's going to help, but there you go.
Sammi cries some more.
Oh yeah, Lyra hands you a thermos too. I forgot about that.
You're hungry, but also thirsty, and you can kind of eat and drink soup. Let's go!
Thank you, Jesse. Yeah. All out of pockets right now. So.
That's right. Your outfit doesn't have pockets, does it?
Mine does.
Oh no!
Put her hands in her pockets because I put pockets in my magical girl uniform.
No, that's right. I'm not currently suited because thinking it was going to be my last session last freaking time.
Welcome back, man.
Huh?
Welcome back, man.
Apparently.
We're glad to have you.
Thank you. No, hey, no sorries here. Yeah, should I go, she's safe.
I guess we'll call if we need you or something. I don't know.
Bye.
I got your number, right?
No, please. Oh.
All
right, what's your number?
Literally anyone else but Barked be the one to text me.
I mean, you're I'll give you the thing for the group chat.
Oh boy.
Right. Actually, I think that's exactly what we did last time.
Yeah.
I think you put me on the group chat.
Yeah.
Yeah. There we go.
You're welcome. Enjoy that.
In and out of character. That's a real fucking thing that exists, and it's the wildest shit I've ever seen in my life.
We need to add Chaz and Makoto to that.
I'm sorry. I just rewatched the last episode and saw that like 3-sentence email you sent them. We're going to the moon. Any tips?
Help?
Still waiting on a reply for that. I guess it has only been a few minutes.
Yeah, it's been like 3 minutes.
I'm sure it's fine.
He's really considering the answer because if he gives like a partial answer, we're like, okay, off we go, and they're like, oh yeah, and helmets.
Breathe on the moon? I don't think so. Unless this is Power Rangers.
That thing smells of cheese. You need helmets.
The moon is not made of cheese.
That's what Yost said.
It's not made of cheese. I am the
have to
goddess
look
of...
good in front of boss.
Boss ain't here.
Right. Yeah. Right. Yeah. I have to look good in front of boss. He has ears everywhere.
Why do you want to look good in front of Dad Dork? They're way
That's
cuter.
literally that is like a messiah to this group, right? Like, correct me if I'm wrong.
Never meet your heroes.
He tried to change my diaper once and ended up with a diaper on him.
Oh,
That's
God.
hilarious.
Alpha ZY.
I don't know the full range of that story.
I believe it's
But there
Alpha
was-
ZZ.
But there was dragons involved, so it couldn't have ended well.
Well, I'm sorry that you have to go.
Yes.
Yes, you are.
And Vina just kind of like gives you a wink and is like,
Vina does. Okay.
yes.
I'm so many levels. Okay.
Let's be real. Can you imagine Sammy winking and it not being ridiculously goofy?
No.
But it is technically Sammy.
Yeah, but there's that facial change that you know.
For sure. Yeah. Oh, her
Does-
eyes,
does-
The eyes change
her
colors
eyes change,
too.
her eyes change color.
It's like going from
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
really unsettling because like you imagine like you have those binary personalities like you have, and then like just they flick on just long enough to flirt with you and then duck back down again, like fucking.
I mean, I'm kind of into it, but I don't think Sammy is. So I'm left confused.
Yeah, what's that song? Full Time Lover? Yeah.
I can't go part-time.
And then I'll like do like a back out and I'm gonna head to the teleporter, whichever where that is.
Okay. You I think you guys did get the tour of the place, so you can easily enough find it.
Yeah.
And Salem, Passion's astral spirit will lead you in that direction. He says, you gonna take that ring off that Ranger Prime mentioned? Well, he was talking to Sammy as she was heading out.
I didn't know if we were all going with her or she was just going. Oh no, she left by herself, but we were.
Right, so I have Salem.
Right?
I think it actually is I don't remember whether it's a black cat or like a weird blue fantasy cat.
Well, this one is apparently a tear in space time. She's a really black kitty.
I love black cat.
Oh my god, is that her purring?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Sorry, not to detract.
Trixie.
Dylan will
But
send the
cats-
black cat and I love her and she's so cute.
Okay.
Sorry. I love black cats. It's so cute.
This is like playing hockey in the street and car comes and everyone, cat. Everyone just stops.
Attention for a second. So sorry. Continue.
Okay, game on. So, all right then. I suppose we should check in with the professor and see if he has anything for us. No need to go running off half-cocked.
What about full cock?
Well, then you're ready.
I always start.
That's
at
the
a
proper
climax.
time to go off. That's the whole point.
Like, Dina, I thought you were supposed to fucking leave.
You're right. I'm going. Okay. Bye.
Well, I'm gonna go home and practice basketball, I guess.
So if you email the professor, he does respond that he has been able to correct through a good portion of that data that you guys retrieved from the chemist's lair.
Oh,
If you
excellent.
guys want to stop by on your way back homeward bound.
Yes, absolutely. And along the way, I'm going to pick up a roast
Yeah.
for the plant.
Yeah, he says that, and then a few seconds later, there's like the dot message for a very long time, and then also, and a lot of groceries for your new pet.
Right. Yes. I'm going to respond back. I think we can put him to work on building security. We can pay him in pork. But yeah, he'll start making his way back.
Sorry,
and then
now I need to
just
read
go
the
with-
awaken spell and see actually how intelligent this thing is going to get.
10.
It's a 10 intelligence.
It's
Oh,
a
okay,
full
that's not
10.
that bad.
Damn.
It's like an average person, which, as we're finding out, is actually incredibly stupid.
Well, okay,
You know enough
to be
humans?
fair,
That's absolutely right.
he literally was awakened at the same time he bloomed. Like, he is the equivalent of a child that just got awakened.
Yeah, I know. So he's really into exploring all the funny little air ducts and things in the building. He's just sending out runners everywhere.
Oh shit, yeah, it just gives him an intelligence of 10. Okay, usually it used to let you like roll for it.
I'm okay with somebody I can just hold a conversation with. I don't need him to be like.
You have a precocious child.
What language does he know?
It's gonna be common and
He knows one of your choice.
then common because I want him to be able to talk with everybody or most everybody.
Yeah.
I was gonna give him Sylvan just for shits and giggles, but if he only gets the one, then that's fine.
Yeah. He'd have to learn the other one the old-fashioned way.
Oh, can I give him class levels and that assistant? And
Or just sign him up for fucking classes.
I was gonna say is like if he could like learn like wizard apprenticing, like be that magic specialist shit like Jenks
Just
was.
give him a phone, give him an old phone with no phone plan. Have him take on the app Triolingo, and you'll be fine.
I like you.
Thank you.
I'm just imagining like you rolling him up on a little little red wagon to school and
Like a
just be
radio flyer.
Have fun at school, little plant.
He like picks up his vines and like spider walks all over the
So like that would be very weird in Neo-Rata-Me, but it occurs to me that shit would be like just old hat and Del Diablo. It's like, oh yeah, no, my lab mate was, an intelligent piranha plant.
Although now I'm thinking ahead to that, like I'm extrapolating out from that, and I'm thinking about Bud at his graduation, where he's like a pot, like in the collar of a robe with like the head and like the stem right here and the mortarboard, and he's got just lianas
Somebody
running out from underneath
Photoshop
the
it.
robe. I'm gonna draw this. That's this is my challenge. I'm gonna draw
love
that crap.
it.
This is ridiculous. I love it.
Out of curiosity, Simon, what does your little bud sound like when he talks? They talk.
They, I guess. I mean, it's kind of agender.
Like Audrey, obviously.
Well, that's what I was gonna try and do, but
Hey, Simon.
No, we'll circle back to that when he shows up.
you got it.
So yeah, walking back onto the professor's office. Who else is coming home?
I will.
Okay.
So a handful of you make your way back to the professor's office. The remainder of you making your way back to your apartments or whatever else have you. And when so going into the professor's office through the typical the like lobby area looks exactly the same. And then you get to his office, and it is a disaster. Normally it usually is, but more of like in the messy professor way. Now it's more in the there was a whirlwind in here sort of way. And sitting across the lab with her feet up on a chair is Ruby with a bag of chicken nuggets, like fast food chicken nuggets, tossing nuggets one by one to the plant across the room that has like one of those metal baby gate things around, puppy gates around it, and it's just like, and as soon as you enter the room, just goes,
Hey!
there's a you.
Welcome back. I like her. She's got chicken.
Okay, if that's the voice you wanted to have, you have to do it because I will not be able to breathe.
Okay.
She's just like, oh God, Simon. I have literally my sister has triplets, and it was easier than this.
Well, I'm sorry. I'm all very new to this too. I've never been a father to a plant monstrosity before.
Yeah. You aware it's a carnivore? She
I
holds
am.
up her hand, and there's like 2 fingers bandaged.
Yes,
The teeth
no,
are
we-
hardening. Watch out for them. I learned the hard way.
It's not normally so active of a hunter in nature. Usually lets its dinner come to them. I guess it's been a little charged up from the awakening pot. Anyway, I'll take him back off your hands now. Come along, bud. Okay.
Damn it. Love
You
it.
okay?
So it can't really get over the gate. It sort of like tries to walk to you, and the gate just starts scraping against the tile floor. God damn, no, okay, stop. All right, stop. Let me let you out. And like goes over and unlatches the door thing. And it's like, okay. And just face plants out because it didn't see the little tiny lip of metal over the thing. She's like, yeah, the professor is in the computer lab. It's a separate room off to the side where this area is mostly where he does like his whiteboarding stuff and like the actual mechanics of building stuff. You head to the other room, and he is surrounded by, he's got 4 monitors up, and is just like staring at the screen, scrolling through text, and just sort of like doesn't even recognize or say anything to you guys as you walk in.
Excuse me, Professor.
Oh shit. Okay, hi. What time is it?
It's 4.
I learned to count to 4 today.
It's really not. It's like 12:30.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing. He just heard a 4, and he thinks, oh, that's a number I know.
I would actually say I think you guys spent most of the day at Henshin Museum. I think it might be getting close to like 6 or 7 or so. So getting towards evening. He's like, so I went through most of their stuff, his stuff, and yeah, he's been building satellites. Or rebuilding, as it were.
I'm sorry. In which dimension are we talking here? Is he building space, like an actual real space satellites? Or is he constructing them in the web somehow and transporting them here? I'm not entirely clear on what.
Not satellites, cyblights.
Cyblights. Oh.
Yeah,
I did. Hold on. Like digs a C out of his ear.
So I don't know how much you guys know about cyblights, or know or don't know. They're a bad time, and they're effectively nanovirus, a machine that's somehow both machine and pandemic. And they only care about one thing: spreading the cyblight. He's like, there were samples left over from the wars, from the machine war. Most of them were captured and contained by the various armies and by Ranger Command, and a couple of them were shipped off into, I don't know, I think they tried to throw it into a star or something. But clearly a handful fell through the cracks, because they're talking about where they have an original piece of one. They have an original cyblight that they have stashed somewhere in the virtual world.
Oh.
And his notes say that he was working definitely with someone, and several someones. It's not just the chemist. Which, to be fair, I expected. He never did work well on his own. He likes to stand on the shoulders of others, for what it's worth. And
so do we think that the one that we slagged at his lab was a clone or a offspring or the original?
I think it was a half-baked one. I don't think it was finished yet.
Hmm.
He's like, I've watched the footage of that. But like, you guys were streaming that, were you?
I'm sure somebody was.
Probably.
I feel like
Probably
Bark was.
Probably Bark, if nothing else.
And he's like, I've watched the footage of it, and it didn't do any of the things that I remember that I remember Cyblades being able to do. It didn't do any of the defensive measures. It didn't make itself immune to any of your spells or attacks. It didn't try to infect anyone, which is the big fucking giveaway. Sorry, excuse my language. It's kind of late, and I did not expect to see these things in my lifetime. So I do know that they're making them into something different than they were.
Any idea how that change is headed? I mean, are they trying to increase their intelligence, their autonomy? Are they trying to make them do other things besides just infect all day?
Well, like, so typically Cyblights infect humanoids, elves, halflings, humans, Sarens, whatnot. And they go for the humanoid racers because they like to insert themselves into society. And humanoids tend to, build cities, and the best way to spread the blight is through a city. It looks like they're infecting monstrous creatures. Monstrosities, aberrations. There's talk of a celestial that they attempted to corrupt, and the notes on that are long and complicated, and I don't think it's complete.
I would love to get a look at that research. Cybrids sound absolutely terrifying.
Yeah, there's a lot. And they've been working on this for a long time.
Have they done any research with fusing this stuff with plants? I've got somebody I might be able to call to help with this.
He's like, I haven't seen anything with plants.
Oh,
the one that I keep seeing is aberrations. They have a big so the Cyblights have this sort of hive mind, sort of like a cross between the internet network and a telepathic hive mind. And it looks like they're trying to enhance that in the way that it can be used for more magical or psionic abilities, which is not a thing that typically Cyblights were able to do, but that's what they're trying to work on.
Do we think that they'll be able to somehow blight telepathically, like from remote?
No, as far as I can tell, they still need physical contact to infect, but they're infecting things other than humanoids. They're infecting bigger, scarier, stranger things. He says, I do have, when I was doing some research, I did reach out. I'm sorry, Crypto, I hope you don't mind. I did reach out to the Knights Virtual to see if they had heard anything or seen anything in the vicinity of where y'all found the chemist's lab. And they did not find anything. However, when I mentioned a small bit of the research we found, just because I don't know enough yet to want to tell the entire world, they did mention that there was somebody that might be able to help. A Knight of the Grid, but I think she's a Knight material while you're virtual, who's been looking into this sort of stuff.
Cool.
So, he's like, I'm willing to, if you guys want to check it out, look over and see what you can. He looks exhausted. Like, he's an elderly man. He definitely looks like big Einstein hair sort of thing. So he always looks a little bit tired. He looks exhausted. He's always been kind of high energy, but he looks like he's seen some things he does not want to remember.
When was the last time you slept, sir?
What day is it? It's been a day or two. I don't remember.
Perhaps we should take a break and step away from this for a little bit and get some rest and come back with fresh eyes, hey? What say you?
Sure.
All right, then. Come on, bud.
Hey.
Okay.
He's like, I don't think I've eaten anything. Have you guys eaten?
Yeah. All day.
Not you, buddy. We know.
Sorry.
We know. You ate my pencil 3 times.
It's good.
Did he eat 3 different pencils, or did he?
No, I got it back.
Spit it up. Oh, okay.
And it was gnawed up, and I sat it down to reach for a goddamn Post-it note, and when I went to write on the Post-it note, there was just a line of drool.
Consider that for a plant, perhaps that a small wooden and graphite stick might be the equivalent of like a meaty center chew toy.
Yeah, I realized that after the fact, and then I was like, oh, I'll switch to pens. And that happened. And you just look, and in the corner of the room, there's just a pile of notebooks that are just smeared with ink everywhere.
Oh no.
He's like, yeah, that's where the baby gate came in.
All right, look, son, we're gonna get you a tablet of your own, okay? I can't have you using mine, but I'll set you up so you can doodle and not that safely. All right, but let's get you on home. Okay, that sounds fun.
Oh god, that fucking kills me. I'm sorry, it's so unsettling because it sounded almost like Terry's bark in the distance, but I know it's not him because he's literally sleeping on my foot right now.
You're gonna eat that roast? He's gonna hand over the roast he's been holding in this fucking grocery bag the entire time. Anyway, so what now?
He's like, yeah. Honestly, he's like, okay, real talk, guys. Ruby and I have a history with these things. And the side blades are bad news to the entire world. So I want to deal with this. I know that you guys have a thing you're doing with Sammi, which I don't know how that's affected by what just happened. I heard some stuff in the group chat from the 5-minute break that I took to look at it. But any help that you could find would probably be useful here. I'm gonna call that night material that I was referenced to, and maybe we could meet for. I mean, I was thinking food, but honestly, it occurs to me that a drink might be good for a change. I haven't got drunk in years.
I think there's a bar downstairs.
There are many bars downstairs.
Am I here?
Do you want
If
to be?
Voxhart wants to be, he can.
I have no idea where I am right now, which is why I haven't spoken yet.
So, when Sammi left to go to Del Diablo, everybody else was like, "Oh, hey, there's this Cyblade shit that we should maybe follow up on the professor with."
Mm-hmm.
You have met the professor and talked to him, so if you want to go with them, they would not have stopped you.
No, that's fine. I have no idea
Otherwise,
where Vox would have
what
gone.
I'm-
I was just going to tell him to eat before he drank, so he didn't fucking die. That's all. Hecking die.
Saved it.
Nailed it.
I'm sure that's fine. But where do you want to be, Babo?
I don't know. I wasn't prepared.
You should always.
I'm not
It's
here right
fine.
now. I'm not here right now.
Neither was I. My notes are like can fit on a post-it note because
Sexy
I had a
goblin?
long day. But he says, yeah, let's get something to eat and maybe sit down and you guys can ask me whatever questions you have about Cyblights and you can skim through some of this work that I've been digging through.
I have a question. Have we get paid any gold since like Subnautica?
You've been getting paid the I think you were paid the comfortable rate. And then when you guys were going on missions, he was giving you extra, but you haven't been on a mission for him.
Yeah.
I thought he paid. Did he not pay you after the virtual world? No, because it was right after the virtual world trip that everything went to hell.
I haven't seen a single gold coin since Subnautica.
He will say that makes sense.
Wasn't it 45 or 10? It was either 45 or 10, and I know those are very big different numbers, but that's what I remember.
I want to say it was 45 when you were in Subnautica, but I will say that he's like, yeah, no, he's like, I'll be honest, things kind of went insane the last couple of days. I should be able to get you guys about, yeah, I think 3,000 easily for what happened in the virtual world, and we can talk about more in a bit. Right now I have to look at the books and see, considering that escalated far beyond what I was expecting to be there.
I didn't mean to be rude, but my gun is starting to get like pretty weak for the things I have to shoot at right now.
Yeah, and if it's a bingo spot that says you need
just wanted to improve it a little bit.
That's fair, though. Maybe we should talk about that at dinner, because there's a thing that Cyblights can do that's weird and not always intuitive. But first, food. I legitimately don't remember the last time I've eaten. The last thing I tried to eat, I had like 3 bites and Buddy had the rest.
Was it the pencil?
It was not the pencil. I think it was a sandwich. For the life of me, I can't remember what was on the sandwich. Ruby brought it to me. She bought it from like a place downstairs that's just the nearest one. So it's just like a hole in the wall little place.
That was all that's left after Bud was finished.
You're feeling pizza.
Sure.
Oh, I could just go for pizza and pitchers of beer or something.
I'm sorry, my brain just automatically went to how we constantly make D&D jokes, and just everything that has alliteration is a reference to an in-game D&D version.
So pizza and pitchers.
Yeah.
That's a gaming cafe, right?
Yeah.
If not, it should be.
And hey,
True.
I'm trademarking that right now. Copyright 2020. Be like Chuck E. Cheese for nerdy adults.
So the professor is actually going to go into the group chat and ask everybody if they're interested in meeting at the nearest pizza place. For whoever else isn't here, I think there are a handful of you that might not be. And he would tag Voxhart, and he will invite Kyo, was it?
Yoko?
To the chat.
Koyo.
Koyo. Yep.
Okay.
I am the worst with names.
It's okay.
He says the woman that
Oh.
I just added is the she's the night material I was telling you about. She's actually been doing research on these Cyblades things not longer than I have, but more recently than I have.
Ooh.
So I will say, for convenience's sake, you guys all make your way to the pizza place, and Koyo is probably waiting there. And then Voxhart can be as well if you would like.
Yes, please. I don't hang out at your apartment. I don't know what I do off hours.
You're welcome to hang out in Sammy's apartment.
That's literally all these fucks do.
Yeah.
They just live in Sammy's apartment or Lyra's. That's it.
I mean, there are the moms of the group. That's what happens.
Thanks,
it may or
guys.
may not be for the cookies.
What about cookies?
I mean, they are pretty dope cookies.
They really are.
They
As
really
long as you can keep Bark out of the kitchen. Bless him.
Unless you like salty cookies.
I don't know what you're implying, but I don't want to know.
What? Salt is the secret ingredient.
I mean, technically, you're not wrong because you should put salt in your cookies. Just not a lot of salt.
The answer is coffee. If it's a chocolate cookie, you're supposed to. Okay. All right.
Also true.
As you guys walk in, the professor just sort of waves, and you see a woman standing off to the side that he recognizes. What does Koyo look like, Aya?
She is a big old Siren. What is it? What is her thing?
Paw-Siren, I think.
Paw-Siren, yeah. She has glasses on and like long purple hair that's like put up in a ponytail. She is wearing like a kimono situation, but with like a kimono underneath and then a leather vest on top, and has a prosthetic leg that goes from her mid thigh to the bottom of her leg, that has like cool different like it's all rainbow colored down there. It's just like all the way down, like it's glowy, like Tron-y and stuff like that. Yeah, and she's just standing very rigid.
Koyo, yeah? It's me, Professor Jochner.
Hello, Professor. Very nice to meet you.
These are, well, most of them are my employees. That one's just cool. He helped us fight off a bunch of muddies.
Don't use such language about me. Hello.
Right, I'm gonna go get the pizza then.
Yes.
I'm gonna hurry up and run Bud up into my room and give him the roast and.
Okay, you could have easily done that on the way down.
Hey, I want to come.
I'm gonna turn to Crypto and be like, "You're the new guy, right?"
Yes, that's me. It's very nice to meet you. As he kind of puts his arms to his side and kind of from the hip, kind of just slight bow of like,
She bows as well because she thinks that's what you're supposed to do. And then
It's like
You were asking about the moon, so I made a research report for you, and she'll pull out like staple papers and like very neat, organized like report, and she'll give it to you. I hope that helps. I've never been to the moon myself, but I've gotten some people that have.
This should be helpful. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Of course.
You have to fucking write a report on the moon. I had thanks. I'm so excited.
This really is a job now, isn't it?
My man, you have no idea.
I'm so sorry. You don't have to write a report on the moon. You just pretend.
It's made of cheese.
It is 99.9% of cheese. There is a giant hole in the middle of it. Happened about 1,000 years ago. Don't let anybody else tell you it hasn't happened otherwise.
The cheese donut. It's the worst thing in the world.
Okay, but like it depends what kind of cheese. If it's like a sweet cheese, that sounds pretty good. That sounds pretty good. Like a Danish donut.
Yeah, I have to agree.
A donut?
A donut.
It could be like a cheese ring, like a deep fried cheese ring.
Or
but
like
just not deep fried yet.
Or like a cheesecake situation.
Just a cake of cheese, like those Hardee's burgers things. Like just a deep fried block.
Okay, stop talking about cheese. I'm gonna get hungry. I'm here to talk to you about the mission. I thought we were gonna do this in a more private place, but apparently we went to Chuck E. Cheese.
Pizza.
It's okay. It's way more like Pizza Hut.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so, like,
she meant it as an insult.
That's fair. You guys do have a relatively larger party, though, so you guys actually realize as you're sort of like talking and awkwardly standing there, the professor comes back with like a big pile of menus and is like, "Okay, back room. I got us a reservation." He's like, it's not the most private, I guess, or whatever, but it's.
I'm sure that nobody will find out of the information that we speak of in there. Seems very safe. I'm sure you guys take your jobs very seriously.
Always.
Oh yeah, quiet.
Good.
Do they have eel pizza?
He's like,
I ordered mine has pumpkin chorizo and mushrooms. I ordered a couple of like normal ones, I guess, for you guys. The ham and pineapple one, cheese and pepperoni. There's an onion and green pepper.
So you said this is like a Pizza Hut, right?
Yeah.
Are there any like not gonna hit the back of a chair tables nearby?
Oh yeah, no, he so effectively like you have the main area where you guys are. You're sort of standing in the opening like tile covered lobby area, and there are families all over the place, but where the professor is directing you is a separate section. It looks like it just has like these sliding doors sort of things, and it looks like there is a large table in there that can sit about 10 people.
Perfect. I'm going to use my dexterity to fling pizzas onto the table masterfully.
Go for it. Roll.
You're welcome.
Cat, is it the party room at Chuck E. Cheese?
That's okay, because I have lucky.
It is not the party room at Chuck E. Cheese's. It's not a Chuck E. Cheese.
No, it's more like the party room at McDonald's.
Probably not really appreciate a Chuck E. Cheese, considering the first time you guys saw a fucking side blade.
21.
Yeah.
It is masterful.
If you've ever played with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle toy from back in the 90s that shot the little discs that looked like pizzas, I'm the human version of that.
Oh yes, very professional.
That's exactly why I had to do that.
That's very cool.
I'm sure
there's no animatronics here, right?
I'm sure pizza flinging would be very useful in fighting what are we fighting?
The professor's like, for what it's worth, I'm pretty sure Bark broke like $1,000 machine made by a mega genius with a basketball the other day.
You mean Barkley, like the Barkley?
Yeah, he's over there. He's been in the bathroom for a bit because apparently he hasn't been sleeping well.
Hey, what's been going on?
Sleeping well, as in, like
Not at all. For like a month.
Oh my god, Jesse, what the fuck?
Pizza time.
Did he actually get pizza?
Mhm.
Why does this always happen? Every time I mention getting pizza in a Retroverse game, he actually gets pizza. Are we just like, is it like confirmation bias and he just gets pizza every Friday night and we just notice when we're playing with him? That makes more sense.
Yes.
That makes way more sense.
You better share.
Yeah, did you bring enough for the class?
Oh my. Yeah.
Silence.
Crypto's gonna be sitting at the table, just flipping through the paperwork that was brought to him.
There's pictures, there's
Just-
diagrams, like pie charts. Like, it is the most organized thing you have ever seen in your life.
Just flipping
I
through
will
that.
tell
Every
you.
every
I will
once
tell
in a
you
while,
all
like,
about it
like
next
hiding.
time, but I will tell you right off, there is nothing indicating that there is any kind of Henshin presence on the moon any longer.
Oh, that doesn't sound right.
I assure you, my report is 100% correct. I have done extensive research in the time permitted. It's only been like a day, so I'm sorry if you want me to give you some more information, I'll be able to do that as soon as we're done here.
Should be all right. I mean, I'm just getting conflicting information, but it's two different organizations that probably don't communicate, so not surprised.
Conflicting information about what?
Oh, you know, Henshin presence on the moon.
Oh, well, yes, there was a base a long while ago, and then it got taken over. And then I believe something happened. I believe the moon got blown up. Not entirely. There was just a crater. Nobody really got hurt instead of some evil whatever.
Yeah, except the bad guys.
Except people who
And
don't
a bunch of
matter.
innocent contractors.
And that one guy who had 1 day till retirement. And then nobody else went up to the moon, and it started healing itself, and now it's completely vacant.
Right. That's where we're getting the conflicting information. As he's still not even like looking, he's flipping through. It's like, yeah, we were told that there is at least 4, maybe 3.5 Henshins up there.
Interesting. Perhaps it is
4.5.
It could
Wait,
be high.
is it 3 or 4? Whichever.
4.
There's some. Okay.
There's 3 of them, and then there's Vina.
Oh, okay. I couldn't remember whether there were
she
4 of
didn't
them or 3 of
finish.
them. Shit.
She's not active, if you're willing to be sassy about
God
it.
damn it, Bob, that message.
Yeah.
4.5. Fuck you. For those who don't know, I was making a joke. I put 4.5 until check because I was stupid and forgot how many people there are in the Circadian Nights. And Bob was like, no, I prefer 5A.
It possibly could also be that it's a secret base, and I don't have that clearance for Henshin information. I assure you that I have all the information otherwise. So if you give me some more time, I can probably look into talking to somebody higher up than me in Henshin Command to see if I can find you this base. Although I don't know how well I'm going to do depending on how secret it is.
That is true. Though we did get that information from, I guess, looks over to Vox. The top? Who was that guy again?
Who's that douche canoe?
This is like the version of what everyone does to Bark, but except they're doing it to Yoast, and I'm still here for it.
Crypto will do that to everyone.
Yeah.
Valid.
Voxhart looks like he's about to have a seizure.
Are you all right?
I will make jokes about Vina being like telling embarrassing stories until I die.
No, that's great. That's exactly why I'm over here like, but he was the savior. He's literally the hero out of time. How can he wear dad pants like that? And why does he think
Socks
that
with sandals.
the moon is made of cheese. Like, he was literally on the moon. The moon is it made of cheese?
The moon is not made of cheese.
Yeah, but this is a kind of existential crisis that's occurring. You're welcome.
Crypto's gonna like reach over to his shoulder, like maybe you should like eat a little bit.
You
It's
said
gonna be
today's
all right.
magic word.
But that could be the moon. When the moon hits your eye like a big pizza pie,
Okay,
I've
hang on.
cracked it. I've cracked the code.
I need you to. I just need you to come down here.
Is he?
You're up
is he-
here. I need you down here.
Crypto, you're always like here at a high. You're really down here. I can't even reach here.
Simon's gonna flag down the waitress and call for another 3 pitchers of margaritas stat.
Do you need me to get you a therapist? Because I can do that. I have several contacts.
At this moment, Voxhart, rather BS, is going to make direct eye contact with Koyo. Hearts. And he's going to try and just straight up do a what is the check that I would have to do to be like smolder?
That's a persuasion check.
All right.
How do
Well, that's
I-
lovely. That is lovely.
Mhm.
So that would be a 23. So seemingly out of nowhere, Voxhart turns around, comes back around with glasses, and goes, "Hello."
What is happening?
Oh God, it's a 23, but also I don't think she's into it.
No, and she doesn't have to be. I just have to be able to put the smolder on to feel like I did a 23.
Okay. Hi.
Simon's gonna sidle up to Crypto here and he'd be like, "Behold the mating dance of the North Red Amy Goober."
What's a goober?
So,
They're
It's a nut.
That, sir, is a goober.
so he's not gonna eat the pizza then.
See how he waggles his eyebrows suggestively, as if the female were at all interested.
It's like the spider dance where you see like they start waving their ass legs. That's what I'm doing.
Callie
Oh my
is just like
God.
blinking over there, like, what's happening?
I don't think I like this.
I'm
I
gonna eat this
I
pizza.
can't do an
I'm
Attenborough.
gonna
version
stop-
It's
of
not
that.
working, so
I'm going to stop you right there. I am on a mission, and I would like to be professional about this.
that's terribly disappointing.
I
And then completely loses interest after that.
She says it would be professional, and Lyra downs her 4th margarita.
Constitution saving throw.
I was under the
Every
impression
time.
that this is a
Wasted away again in Margaritaville.
I'm,
Is that a
I'm
1?
Searching for
5.
the lost
Okay,
shaker of song.
You're definitely tipsy. Like, they weren't the biggest glasses, but yeah, you're
You're an easy date.
Ooh.
Sorry, cheap
How
date.
dare you, sir.
There was an implication there. Cheap date.
Yeah.
sorry, Koyo. They're good at what they do. Professional, not so much.
Yeah, I mean, the guys in the restaurant are not very professional. They let me bring my gun here and then serve me alcohol. I mean, come
this
on.
is, as I've been told, this is regular for neuroanime.
It's an open carry state.
Oh, too
the
real.
professor is like, for what it's worth, the police are pretty competent usually. It just so happens that the handful of times you guys have run into them, there was like a wall of screaming children separating them from the action. I mean, you guys have met Rachel
Henderson.
something. Yeah, her. She was pretty cool. I haven't heard from her in a while. We should give her a call.
Daiyo has her number.
Seems, you guys seem like you've been having a hard time. And she like
Since
pull out-
when?
she'll like pull out like a box and like open it up, and there's like a bunch of business cards in there, and she'll like go in like little folder dividers. And she'll look through it and she'll pull out like a bunch of them, and she'll give you all each a card with a therapist name on it.
Is it like your uncle or something?
I feel like I'm witnessing a history lesson. What is this card index thing you have here?
Oh, well, a lot of I work with a lot of people, and I like collecting business cards just for this kind of occasion, so I can inform other people about the good services that this city has to offer.
But now you don't have this card, so if you
I have 20 more.
Well, if we're doing card exchanges here, have mine.
Nice.
Oh,
Excellent segue.
Lovely. I don't know where to put this under, but I will figure it out when I get home.
You got it.
I'll put this under
G for Gooper.
Why don't we have
Man,
business cards?
you know, when even the nerds pick on you, that's a special kind of screwed that you are, and that you is me.
Literally everyone here qualifies as a nerd, Bob.
I know, I am goofing.
I love this character so much.
The character is literally me.
He is a big goober.
No. Anyway, we were saying.
So let's get down to brass tacks, and she'll like open up her bag and pull. Actually, she'll open up her leg and pull out a giant binder. It is color coded, and it has little binder like dividers in it. And she'll open it and be like, "All right, let's begin."
Okay,
Where was she hiding that?
Did we all hear leg?
We did. We all heard that at the same time because I saw like everybody's face to the exact same dog tilt, like,
No, my dog tilt was like, you didn't see anything. Shut up. With my binder with the color-coded tags.
No, it was, I was
nothing.
reacting to something that I had said.
I'm definitely not
wrong.
basing this off of anybody. It's fine.
I believe it was the phrase "open your leg."
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So she has a prosthetic leg that I like up to her.
Oh, thank
Okay.
God.
Did not get that.
Yeah, there was like the whole
sorry.
RoboCop holster visual that you were missing there, and we just heard "open your legs," and we're like,
No,
"Wait,
sorry.
what?"
You were describing your leg wear before.
Yeah, I
She did say prosthetic leg, but I don't think the fact that it was hollow and yeah.
Yes,
Yeah,
that
she
and the
had-
fact
she
that
had
I had
the-
heard it was like a boot or something. I didn't hear that was a whole fucking prosthetic leg. Heckin'
Yeah.
prosthetic leg.
Yes.
She literally has a hollow leg. Does she need an extra pizza to herself? I mean,
No, she has a like. Like it doesn't look hollow. It looks very sturdy, but she there's a bunch of different lights on it.
I'm just playing
Like
with the
little
words.
circles on it, and she taps one, and then like a binder comes out of her foot.
I love that.
She has a bag of holding in her leg.
We have
She has a leg
the
of
age
holding.
internet and digital
Yeah, leg
media,
of
and she's
holding.
she has a paper binder holster in her thigh.
Oh yeah, she has a table. Like she has a whole office in.
My God, I love it.
She's got her Rolodex. She's got her binders.
Yeah.
She's got a vodka drink. She's got a whiskey drink.
Oh, she got a
That's
margarita drink.
That's after she's done working. This is her being professional.
Has she ever stopped work?
The professor is like halfway through his weird pumpkin chorizo and mushroom pizza, and he's like, so what questions do you guys have? Like,
I would love to hear more about your backstory with the anarchist and your fight with him and Ruby and all of that mess.
the anarchist. I don't know that little twat. No, I know the chemist.
Oh,
We studied together for a time in
She'll like
college, and I will say that Ruby is here, but she is mostly passed out. She had like one drink and is like mostly dozing. She's listening, but she's not really participating a ton.
she's also
needs to
listening
sleep.
slightly to the left.
Yeah.
She needs to
He's
sleep.
like, so actually, yeah, let's see. Yeah, no, she's asleep. She rolled a 2 because this gold dice has fucked me for too long.
Can we like gently slide her into the corner of the booth? Just prop
Yeah.
her up on the wall.
Meanwhile, Barkley has been passed out the whole time. Like, his eyes are not lit up at all. He's just there lifelessly.
It's like he just realized that he's been awake this whole time.
It's
Yeah,
like
meta
he
thing.
realized that he's been awake for at least a month.
Meta thing. Somehow or another, we got our wires crossed, and we had assumed that Restless are indeed restless and don't need to sleep and go into like a trance like elves do. That's fucking nowhere in Test Wave 2.
Oh, okay.
So that's a thing.
He's catching up.
They sleep just like normal people.
Should probably.
They do.
Oh, that's cute. He thinks he's people.
Wow.
Wow.
Old.
Said outside the life. Said outside life.
He's just half the man he used to be.
Bob, you are this character, so what the hell?
What?
What's Bark doing? Like, Crypto asks. Like, he's never seen him not move.
It literally is I'm like no lights are on. He's just like he's dead.
I think we had to hang him on like one of those like anatomy racks and like roll him in here.
I can throw him in
He's
the.
fine.
Retroactively, let's say like I got one
Reactively?
margarita. You know what I mean? One margarita, and there's like a millimeter of it gone, and he's just out.
Oh, maybe
Can I-
we should call a necromancer. I don't think he's fine.
No, I think he's only metaphorically died, or if it's going to feel like that.
What would a
more.
necromancer's ambulance be? Would it just be like Toll the Dead over and over?
It's a
yeah,
hearse.
no, it's the cart. Bring out ye dead.
Yes.
It's that, but with without powered wheels. I was gonna say, so somebody should probably like stand him up against the wall, and I'll take care of this for him.
Should I put him in
By the
the?
margarita.
Is there
back- the
is there
backpack?
is
Can
there a
I
convenient
check-
thing that has like a hook where you can just hang me
Yes.
up and I'm just
Can I check
Go
that
check.
if he's dead?
Go for it. Roll a medicine check.
Medicine? Okay.
Yeah,
Got no
of course he
pulse.
is.
Oh, thank God, he's dead still. Oh.
Breathing.
His vitals are flat. His BP is 0 or
Wait,
0.
fuck. Bark doesn't have to breathe either, does he?
nope.
No.
We don't know if he's dead. He's just there.
16.
Inside, I like to think he's powered by all the gems and stuff all over him because he's the celestial one or whatever.
Does he have like
So
one eye,
little
like,
lights
blinking?
like flicker on the gems.
Stand by.
I would still be glowing, I think.
Yeah. The 16 tells you he's still alive. He's not breathing, obviously, because Restless don't need to breathe. But it definitely looks like he hasn't slept in a while.
This skeleton. He seemed. Oh right, she knows who he is. He's just sleeping. It's fine.
Okay, I'll just
Oh.
scoop him into
I
the bag
will-
of holding. Just there you go. Just,
That's fair.
Is he just sleeping like just sleeping, or is he just sleeping
He's
like?
the only one who can survive in the bag of holding. I just realized that because you don't need to breathe.
Yeah.
Bagman.
How much stuff's in there already?
Oh yeah, I did do the math on this. How tall is Bark with his hair?
Oh, if I'm all scrunched up and stuff and I'm just bone, I should be able to fit in there just fine.
Oh yeah, you're probably not much more than a meter tall.
But I'm not. I definitely wouldn't be able to stand in an upright.
Considering I've held like a science skeleton and like in a bag, I think you can put this.
I have a bedroll in there, so you can just like
Yeah.
scooch in there.
Oh, that'd be lovely. All right. So, what does this have to? Oh, this chemist have to do with the what are the names of the things that she's looking for, Kat?
The
Light.
things are the Cyblights. So he says, so the chemist was a scientist that I studied with when I was going through school. He was my lab partner for a time, and we worked on a bunch of different projects together until we came to one project that required some human testing. And he did not want to wait to get the permits to do so, and proceeded to do the test without them. And it didn't go super well. And the last I saw him was walking away from the lab that I burned down.
I'm sorry, that you burned down?
Yeah.
Mm.
It wasn't just... I think, I didn't realize it at the time, but I think even then, he was planning this sort of stuff. He was working on side plates.
Man, there's one in every class, it seems. There's always, every year, there's always some jackhole that has to try and take over the world.
Honestly, it's what keeps the Henshin command in working order. So, I mean, it's...
Yes, well, job security for you is a fine thing, but, I mean, I, for one, could do with a little less world domination plots and constant disruption of my daily life.
Yeah, but then would
Some
your
of us have
practices even be a thing anymore?
Oh, well, certainly. I still have my asanas. I still have my
And I'm
heart.
going to try and basically talk him into a drunken debate, philosophical thing. You've got 3 jugs of margarita under your belt, I assume.
Oh, yeah, I probably should be rolling for those. Hang on a second. Let me do like 5.
She came here for a business meeting and you guys are all flat out drunk.
Hi, welcome to Chili's.
I love that we give
every
corruption crew
freaking
so
time.
much shit, and I'm pretty sure that like 60% of the time that they're on screen, vaccine crew is slush.
Hey, Kat, what am I
That
DCs?
is not true, okay? At least we didn't get high when we're going to go get information in the library.
Hey, Kat, what are my DCs?
Subnautica.
Like per drink.
Your first one is probably only a 10. It's not the strongest thing.
Okay, passes easily. Second one was this. I rolled a 16 on the second one.
Okay. And third one?
Oh, even better. That's going to be a 25.
Okay. You're fine.
Okay.
Like, you definitely have a buzz in the back of your brain, but you're good.
I have a +4 constitution, just so Vox, it's like he's going in a drinking contest. He's just going to have a hard time.
Oh, I'm not going in a drinking contest. I'm intentionally trying to throw you off your game here. That's
Oh yeah, well, Simon is well experienced in drunken debate with his roommate in college. So
Corio writes down,
yes,
they
it's just
are
constantly
fucking
regretting.
idiots. Got it.
literally, like the character build, like mechanically, is proficiency bonus to intelligence and con. So drunk debates are exactly his thing.
Fair.
The professor sort of so I realized after the fact that the chemist was doing things that were incredibly unethical and creating things that should never have seen the light of day to begin with. So I torched it and I burned down everything that he and I worked on in what I'd hoped would be the last time I ever saw him, and clearly that was not the case.
So, how actual old do you know is he? I saw him transforming, so clearly, I mean, he lives his life as a humanoid some of the time, but I mean, let's face it, he was a fucking dragon.
From what I know, he's at least 512, I believe, if
That's
my math
old.
is right.
Yeah, you're gonna hear like a little kind of intake of breath when he hits that number.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that being in the virtual world as he was, where he was jacked in, as you would say, lessened his capabilities within his draconic form.
So is that why he was shapeshifting all the time there, or was it just because he needed to be there for some reason and couldn't leave, and he's just been stunted as a result?
I have no idea. He's like, I don't like to resort to violence. I It sounds callous to say, but that's why I've hired you folk. You are much better at it than I am. I much more prefer to stay in my lab. If I had ever seen a chemist in the material plane, it wouldn't have gone poorly for either of us. One of us would not have made it out of the room. So, either he's been hiding from me, which is possible. He's probably been hiding from the world, or he's been in the virtual world this whole time. But wherever he is, I think his body is on the material because he was jacked in. He disappeared when he was defeated, when he fell unconscious, as you were, when the security lifeline pulled you out. Miss Koyo, for reference, this chemist fellow, they found him working on cyblights, on a cyblight corpse. And the notes that I have indicate that he was infecting other creatures with the cyblight virus, not just humanoids. We've seen an uncomfortable amount of uptick in cyblade references recently.
I know, and she'll pull out like turn to the pages and like slide it over and be like, these are the references I found recently, and there's like a graph of like how like the progression of like rumors has gone on with time.
Does she have like a web of crazy on her wall in her apartment?
But it's immaculately organized.
They always are.
Only for the person who does it, but it is. I've been looking into this recently, and from what I can see, that I heard there's just rumors and people talking about it. And I saw a handful of videos, but they all ended just out of nowhere. So, sorry, I'm reading
PMs.
We've also been working with 3 people trying to recover the people that have been infected, but it's been rising as of late, and I want to get to the bottom of this before other people get infected or get killed because of monsters that are infected with this.
So wait, am I to be understood that we're trying to bring in targets alive for decontamination?
That would be useful. I would like to know where patient 0 is, and then we can move on from there.
The professor sort of looks very uncomfortable, and he's like, "Your patient 0 is an unholy abomination that is quite large and could probably kill most of us where we stand. The cyblights are controlled by a thing called a hive mother brain. If you have any familiarity with elithids, my brain is fucking up. The master brain for elithids.
An elder brain?
Yes, the elder brain.
Mm-hmm.
It's something akin to that. It is immeasurably powerful psychic abilities, complete access to the hive mind of every cyblight on the planet, at least, if not the entire plane. That's where the source is, or at least the nearest source that we'd ever seen. I believe it is possible to cure a cyblight infected. I've seen it done a handful of times, or I've heard of it done a handful of times, but not in a long time. It requires powerful, like, divine magic to heal it. It's a particularly virulent disease. The issue more so is the fact that as soon as you are infected and the infection sets in, you no longer have control of your mind. The only thing you care about is making more sidelights. So then curing them becomes kind of difficult because they just want to infect the person who is sent into the room to try and cure them.
Yeah.
By the way, Barkley, where is your phone? In your pocket, or would it have landed on the table?
Probably in his pocket.
Okay.
It's Crypto's bag just.
Crypto, I believe your
I'm
bag
gonna
is
say
vibrating.
I'm gonna say you would hear that because like normally you wouldn't because it's a separate dimension, but at the same time, if you couldn't hear it and you close the lid, you would never know if Bark woke up and needed to get out. So I'll say you probably left it open a little bit so you can hear it vibrating.
It's always slightly cracked.
We could comedically say like his skeleton hand is sticking out and he had it in his hand even when he's unconscious.
Okay. We need your fingerprint.
He's a skeleton. How does he have a fingerprint?
I don't know.
It's a bone print.
I don't know anything.
He paid enough money to get bone fingerprints.
Why not just get skull
What's it say?
nation?
It is a message from, it just says coach at the top, and it says, Bark, we need you.
Bark, your coach needs you. We'll tell him later. Well, I don't know. Maybe just shake the whole bag.
Rattle those bones.
I mean, just send the sleeping Bark to the...
Yeah, we can just take him.
Yeah, ship him.
Just ship him. Just put him in a box and mail him to the fucking stadium. This is fine.
Real question. Sincere question. Do we have the type of technology like in Pokemon where you can just drop things into a box and somebody else can pull it out to save yourself parcel time?
No, there are no Bucks lovers in this universe.
I will say there are probably like small scale teleportation sort of things like that, but not like you can the like ability to digitize mundane items and store them for later as data exists. It's pretty expensive though.
But it's Bark. We just tap into his bank account. I mean, I'm sure it's open.
So
I'm not gonna tell you how to live your life.
I don't know how the hell I'm living my life. It's how could you tell me to tell anybody else how to live their life? It's fine.
I mean, I could, but I wouldn't.
You're pretty. I'm sorry. Did I say that out loud? I'm sorry.
Are you okay?
No.
Okay. That's fine.
Have another margarita.
All right, that's enough. That's enough pizza for you, sir.
Yeah.
That's it. I'm cutting.
Oh, okay. All right.
He is face first in pizza. Let me get that real quick.
She just shoves him. She like shoves him off the pizza, like.
He like has a pepperoni stuck to his forehead.
Flick. Just get that off.
What's got what?
Should we reconvene tomorrow when you guys aren't all?
Your team paged you, Bach. They need you for something. Your coach called.
Immediately grab my phone.
Yep, just hand that back.
The message from coach says that one of the other players had an injury and isn't able to play, and the game is tomorrow.
Oh.
I'll do it. I'll step in.
Lyra, I volunteer as stripping.
I have a +0 athletics. Do not make the whole team go in and like be the seventh man for work. That would be.
Well, it looks like they need me. for sports and the balls.
Oh yes.
Yes, well, duty calls. I'm certain. We'll let you know what we have next.
The skeletons need some balls. Need a good boning.
Haha. I'd like to wait. Who are you?
Before everybody leaves.
Hello, I'm Koyo.
The professor is like, before everybody is gone, was there anything that you have found recently, Koyo? I know that you've been looking into this, and have. I think you had mentioned that you had seen some. Things.
I'm so sorry. I was looking at this guy, and he is way deep in pizza, and I'm worried about his face. That's gonna break out, and that would be fortunate. But
Callie, Lyra, do you know prestidigitation? Can we presto the pepperoni off of him?
Pesto the pepperoni.
Pesto?
Yep. Accurate.
Accurate.
No, I had already, when I pulled my head up, I've still got a pepperoni like half hanging off the side of my hair.
Oh.
Ted, why didn't you tell me this before? Oh my god.
I'm sorry.
Okay. Well, actually, I have a theory. Last place that we looked at, there was a torn piece of jersey, and it looked sort of like the colors of Barkley's team. So I was, if it wouldn't be inappropriate, I would like to come with you to look at this game, if you will. Just to make sure and talk to all the players and see if anybody is infected or not.
It occurs to me that Bark was unconscious for most of this conversation, so he probably doesn't understand what infection you're talking about.
And also, hello, I'm a very big fan.
Oh. Awesome.
For what it's worth, she probably didn't put two and two together and think about it, considering the Jolly Rogers are a pretty popular team in town.
Okay.
So it could have just been something of a fans.
Yeah.
But the fact that they've been looking into side blades and he's here. And,
Yeah, she put 1-1. Okay.
Where's the stadium located?
It's in the city. It's maybe like a 20-minute drive from where you guys live.
I love how nobody in the team knows anything about sports. Well,
I have my athletics bonus is 0. Like my modifier for skill is 0.
Mine's 7. So I could.
For what it's worth, when he said we need you, he meant like he messaged Bark. It wasn't like the entire team is dead.
No, we're gonna do it, Cal. We all gotta.
I mean, I know in my heart like the Space Jam episode is coming.
Yeah.
Nothing in a rule book says that a human can't play basketball.
I don't think they can get the jerseys in time.
Why?
They have to get the ones that cover the fleshies.
Why?
All right.
Okay.
I can just summon my thing and we can just ride over there.
Well, my team's the only one that's all restless.
Do you need to call a hospital, little man?
No.
Maybe.
She will dial. She'll like dial it up and look at you again.
No.
Like,
call the necromancer.
No.
Call him little man again. That was funny.
Oh boy. All right, let's go.
All right. I think that all of you need to go home, take a nap or sleep or whatever it is that you need to do. Let's meet up in the morning in my office and we can walk over to the game. Yes? Whatever is more convenient for you.
Sounds like a plan.
And I need you to back off from my face with your hands, sir.
I'm not. What?
It's like right here. Calm down.
Okay.
This is inappropriate. Stop.
Okay.
Now put it down.
This is going to turn into a like interdepartmental problem with the Ranger Command and the night material.
What is happening?
I have no idea.
This is sexual harassment, and I don't have to take it.
No, I'm not. I'm sorry. Depth perception is not a thing when you have no depth of self. What?
Okay, somebody's had a little too much existentialism juice, and I think probably needs to go have a nap.
Yeah.
Yeah, buddy.
Okay, I'll bring you to a nap. Let's go.
All right, no, hold on now. Let's just call you a tuber and get you home.
Ruby sort of sits up, is like, wait, what happened now?
I shove him in a pneumatic tube, like highway tube, like Futurama style. It's a tuber.
I will say, easily enough, you guys can make your way home, especially considering most of you live in the building, or at least pretty damn close, or can bunk on somebody's floor.
Sammy, Sammy's not here.
Oh, I'm sure Sammy is definitely messaging you by this point, and she's like, "How's everybody doing? Is anybody dead? Like yada yada."
Sammy, we missed you.
Also, I 100% feel like Sammy is the kind of person that would instantly trust somebody. So, like, the first responsible person on the team that she met who's like, I like them. They seem like a good, reliable person. They probably have a spare key to her house.
That might be me. I think he's probably the first nonsensical person she met.
I mean, it definitely is you, and also Lyra.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's because she's the level-headed one too. When I fail, and I'm like,
yeah.
I mean,
Lyra breaks into Sammy's apartment and sleeps on her couch.
I might have to do a group chat message later about this whole cuteness.
Yeah, I'm pretty certain.
Can I
Lyra
stay
has,
with someone tonight?
Hello, you're in the tuber going
If
home.
you ask,
you can stay at my house. You can stay at my apartment if you want.
Also, if you text that in the group chat, Sammy will absolutely say yes. She doesn't give a shit.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't have a bed, I'm sorry. I sleep in a pool.
I was gonna say, the pool's open, right?
I mean, I have a pool in my house to sleep.
Oh, okay.
It's the sleeping pool.
Not a fish tank, Mom. It's a sleeping pool.
It's not a phase. I'm just semi-aquatic.
He's a semi-aquatic mammal.
So easily enough, you guys make your way to your various abodes, to wherever it is you take your long rest. Is there anything that you guys want to do before you crash?
Like to look into this moon situation.
Oh yeah, I need to go check on my plant.
Hey! Hey, bring some over for me!
Fuck.
I'm waiting!
Bob, are you losing it? What is happening to you?
I don't know where you are!
Oh,
It's so easy to make you kids laugh. Thank you.
you took Bud into some crazy joke Yoda territory, and I'm just not.
Jesus.
Funny joke!
Oh my fuck.
We all laughed so hard we kicked Lluis from the call for a second.
Hey guys, what happened?
We accidentally nuked Spain there for a second.
Oh, okay. I got you. Okay.
I'm fixing the windows now.
Oh, okay. It's all right. Wow, thanks. You really lived up to your name there, Bob.
Hey Simon, I have a joke for you.
What is it, joke, Bud?
He just belches really loud in your ear.
Oh, no.
What did BB-8 say when if he's hungry?
I don't know, joke bud. What?
No, BB-8.
This is 3 o'clock in the morning, and it's like I'm just leaving
Yeah,
sleep,
yeah.
but-
We didn't stop drinking when we got back to Sammy's place. We just got into her liquor cabinet.
You just took the picture with you.
See, sometimes you just gotta get the sillies out.
Yeah.
I feel like Crypto threw Voxhart over his like shoulder, and then just kind of got to his apartment, threw him long ways on the bed. So he's like kind of.
You didn't break out your class feature arms to carry him with.
No.
I don't think that lasts that long.
Minute.
You're really you're fuzzy.
Thank you. I tried.
Thank you.
Try. Oh, God.
You're a good boy, Crypto.
I've
You're a
been
good boy. And he gives a big old hug around your neck.
He's like Crypto wagging in spite
There-
of himself a
there,
little
there.
bit here. Like,
Okay, this is getting weird.
oh God.
Toss him on the bed, so he's like his head and his legs are.
Oh,
He's
my.
laying the wrong way.
Wait.
What?
Wait.
What?
Come here.
What?
Come here. Okay, good night.
Oh God.
The tail is wiggling.
That was for you, Lluis.
Thank you. We all know Crypto's tail is wiggling right now.
He's only slightly happy. He's not showing it. But you can tell from the tail. I need to update my resume.
We got a lot of turnover in that 6th Ranger department. You notice that?
Oh, Bark is sleeping in your bedroll in your bag of holding, but he's sleeping in it backwards, so his feet are poking out the end.
Eventually, I'll remember that, and I'll like pull you out, so at least you're on the floor.
What
Just
size
like
shoe
get
does he
home.
wear?
Like,
You see?
did that weird Power Ranger man boot me on the nose? Whatever, it's fine. I'm gonna go to bed. Oh fuck, Bark!
You
Just from the back, you just hear.
You just see sports brain sneakers poking out.
That's fine.
Bikey sneakers.
Bikey.
Nike sneakers. Oh my goodness.
Rebark shoes. They're Rebark shoes.
Rebarks.
Rebarks.
The shoe
Oh.
collectors need the originals.
It's his own. Yeah, he has his own branding line. Yeah,
Oh, he
that's
got
what
the
it is.
Velcros.
It's like having Jordan Airs, but the entire company.
I mean, we made it canon that he has fucking energy bars
Was it
or
cereal?
granola bars.
No, it was cereal. It was Barcos.
There was also energy bars that showed up in corruption for like 2 seconds.
Oh,
Energy
okay.
barks.
Mhm.
Energy parks.
I might have he might have his face and name everywhere.
Yeah, definitely some branding deals going there.
I mean, you never know how long the sports career is gonna last. You got something to fall back onto, you know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the endorsements. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, once you
Adventuring
age out.
as the backup career.
Yeah. So what is he gonna do? Tear a hamstring? What? I mean,
Anyway,
he's a
so
skeleton for God's sake.
unless there's anything you guys would like to do that evening before taking your long rest.
Just get this real quick joke out.
Drink
Go
of
for
water
it.
and some ibuprofen.
So you talked about tearing a hamstring, and I imagine that Barkley would actively just make a strain's worth of ham from a spiral of ham, cut it, and call that cutting his ties with the sport.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say like Restless or
Well, no, you would get too restless with being just a sports guy. So that's you cutting your career short by tearing a hamstring.
like international football.
Like he thinks that's
what,
the way you have to do it.
What
Yeah.
us Americans call soccer, where it's just like the Restless don't ever get injured; they just fake it, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
What he's saying is like he was imagining that Bark, in misunderstanding the nature of the problem, would feel like he had to tear a hamstring in order to retire. Otherwise,
So he would tie ham to the back of his leg, cut it. Oh, my hamstring. Lean down, take it. He might even offer it to somebody to eat.
He 100% would.
Would he? I did hear from Scott's mouth.
Would hamstring just be really thin bacon?
Ooh, yeah,
Well,
even better.
I was thinking like when you like tie up ham.
I don't know.
like-
I don't know.
I was
Like
also
butcher's
thinking
twine?
the food twine, yeah.
Like a roast.
It would be. Scott Bark would do it and then sell it.
This is what he's dreaming of for the night.
this is
Koyo will also like be typing out a detailed report of like the meeting, note by note, like what happened in it.
Oh my god, the meeting notes for that fucking meal.
Oh,
And she was like, and then everybody got drunk, and I am very disappointed in them.
Me too.
Simon's gonna have his
And,
water.
I hope you specify who got
She will
drunk.
send it to Crypto because she thinks he's the responsible adult in the situation.
Which, to be fair,
You were drunk. Don't even, Lyra. Get out of here.
She's not wrong.
That being said, Lyra casts polymorph on herself, turns into a duck, and climbs into Sammy's bed and goes under the covers. And just,
God.
There's like 40 pillows, like
Oh,
just.
I can't handle it.
I miss
They're all
Mama
sh-
Duck.
What's
They're
really
all, they're all shaped
That
in
actually
different
hurt my
things.
heart because that's what my dog does when I'm not home, and he's like, "No, you need to go the fuck to bed. Go to
Truth
bed."
or
He
burst?
will go to our bedroom and ditch our asses and go to sleep if we stay up too late without him.
Oh,
he
that's cute.
what's really funny about that is the second you fall asleep, you've lost concentration. So you just like the second
Turn
you fall
back into
asleep.
Oh,
just like,
As Simon
You're
said,
somehow like
collapsing
twisted
into-
around, and you got like your head underneath one of your arms, because that's how ducks,
Oh,
you know, they.
Right,
Yeah.
roosting like that.
Mhm.
So when Simon collapses into his bed and forgets to take his glasses off, and as he's drifting off, just in the back of the room, you hear, and that's scene on him.
Hey, I remember a Sith Lord. He kind of ran.
Oh,
I don't know.
so morning comes
I will tell
with
Crypto
some hangovers for some folks.
also like the meeting notes, and then also write Crypto, be like, if you ever need a job change, there is always a position open for you in my office.
Noted. Crypto would definitely stay up for at least a little bit longer, going over the moon notes that she provided, and then just kind of like fall asleep, like leaning against sitting on the floor, leaning against a corner somewhere, just like
You want like an armchair or a couch?
there's no room for the weights. If there's, I gotta have the training dummy to practice my swords, and then the weights. So I got a bed and a bedroll.
Oh god.
He's just like, this is nice. And fall asleep.
So, morning comes with some hangovers for some folks and some chaotic flailing around in the mass of 40 pillows that Lyra has found herself under.
They're all different shapes and sizes, and they're all like super cute. And some of them have embroideries of like Sammi and her mom holding hands together, and and another one that's like home sweet home, and like you know, just
this is
Family is forever.
yeah.
when it's just a lamp.
I'm sure Lyra sits up and she goes, "Where am I?"
Did I have to make a constitution check at all?
I mean, no, you were RPing being drunk very great.
Okay, good. Fucking great. I'm feeling wonderful. How's everybody doing?
I mean, you still probably have a headache to
That's why I asked.
Yeah,
But I
so-
did roll in
Okay.
case.
You would
So,
wake up
like-
to the sound of Crypto sharpening his swords, and the
Hey.
Is that what the
so
kids are
fucking
calling
ominous.
it these days?
Is it, okay,
Just-
but whetstone or grinder, like angle grinder, 'cause there's a big difference.
That is
Wet-
a
wet
big
stone.
important
You
thing.
just like wake up
Whetstone.
and you see like
Oh,
whetstone. He's sitting on the edge of the bed because he don't have he doesn't have a chair. So.
Oh my god.
Hi, Crypto.
Good morning.
Those for anybody in particular?
What sharp blades you have.
Hopefully not.
Okay.
Right now, I just need to sharp up Mikey.
Okay. If there's any, should I do I pay you? Is this like Airbnb? Like
Air D&D? What? I don't know. I don't know what any of that is.
Do I pay you or?
What are you talking about? You just
thank you for letting me stay overnight.
Yeah.
I normally don't get sloshed. I don't know why I did.
Just leave the money on the
did I boop you?
Maybe.
Is that what the kids
I'm
are
so sorry.
Is that what that was?
When
it's never happened to me before.
Did I touch you on the nose?
You did. Yes.
It's like
that's a term called booping. It's yes. It's something you do to like a cute small animal, and in my head you were like a cute little puppy. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean anything by it.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
That's fine. Whatever.
I mean, you're cute. I'm gonna go okay.
Bathroom's over there.
Okay.
Realized that Lyra is probably sleeping in her clothes that she had last night, and that's embarrassing. So she goes through Sammy's stuff and gets a t-shirt and wears it like a dress, I guess.
Yes. Oh my god.
With 4 sleeves.
Like so.
I'm just imagining that that red flannel dress that Vex has.
It's not really her style. I feel like it would be more. It's like. I'm trying to think what kind of t-shirt Sammy would own, and it's probably like one of those like t-shirts that have little like patterns on them.
Does it have 4 arms? Like 4 arm holes?
Of course.
Yeah, of course.
Okay,
it
so
does.
you're gonna have some like cutouts along the side there.
Yeah, just opened up and like.
No, you you tie the sleeves back and they're like a bow.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah. Totally.
It like turns into like an apron.
Shirt, or is it like
it's like a sweater probably.
Okay. All right. She makes it work. It's fine.
And also it's probably like it could be one of those shirts where it's like has like the open like shoulders and you can just use those as sleeves. It's so big you just put them through there and then tie them back.
It's important.
It is. This is important because it's
very important. We gotta know how it looks like later when it falls off of you. When you get to the
thinking for the art, but yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of artwork, what were we talking about? Oh, right. When the sidebar from the conversation with Crypto and Vox, out the window, like the camera pans right, and there's Bud's head like on a vine out there, and he pulls back after that whole scene.
The weirdest flush ever.
He's on the terrace, and he looks over at Simon, who's trying to make coffee, and he's like, "Man, that guy was a goober." What a BDA.
A horrible hair horn. Very horrible hair horn.
Oh, you did a great job. I was actually surprised you pulled it off that well, man.
Yeah, no, in context, you're right. That was actually a pretty good slide.
That's just for how well you did your air horn. That's all.
Close enough.
Yeah.
Let's
you
continue.
did great. You did great.
Let's continue.
I might need to talk to the landlord about that.
Yeah, I don't remember that.
Meanwhile, the apartment upstairs is just a bunch of Kenkus, and there's.
That's how Kenkus do it, if you know what I'm saying.
I absolutely had a Kenku Synthweaver that did that.
No, it's like a tiny little Kenku, and he just goes like meow, 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 meow. Go fuck yourself.
I'm so sorry, Kat.
It's great. I love it.
What was your Kinku's name?
My name is Callie. I am sweet.
No, oh gosh, I don't have their sheets with me right now. Otherwise, I'd let you know. But they were a peacock Kenku.
Oh,
my God.
I had the same thing. I had a Kenku Synthweaver, but she was a magpie, and she was actually like a disciple of Hertz, like, and did like beatboxing kookaburra stuff. So,
oh, I love it.
Good stuff.
Yes. Sorry. Now that I've derailed us
again
90% of the way, I will.
That's some good coffee.
We're almost done anyway.
What, like this coffee right here? This I'm not gonna take your bait, Simon.
And then
So you guys make your way to some level of awakeness.
I'm wide awake. I feel great.
Actually, yeah, you didn't actually drink that much. You're fine.
I probably
You feel like you slept for the first time in forever.
Wait, we drank?
We drank.
We did not.
Not the first time I've woken up not remembering, so it's okay.
I mean, no, you sipped, but then you slept hard for a very long time.
What day is it?
The next day.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Usually it's a month or two, so that's good in here.
Are we meeting
You
up
hibernate?
now? Is it like?
I'll say that. Yeah, you guys can do that.
Sometimes
we'll
I forget
say you
I have
guys
to sleep.
agreed to meet up at the professor's lab that morning.
Koyo brings everybody coffee, and she picks out like the right ones for all of you because I rolled an insight and I got a 25. So
nice.
She gets everybody exactly what they want.
I would say Crypto drinks hot chocolate, but he can't have that.
Oh. But you can have like hot vanilla.
I guess.
Simon will bring the donuts.
Oh, how do you know I wanted the most expensive thing on the menu?
I read it on your blog.
8 years ago.
You just look over and like mine, like you can visibly see on the cup, like there's just, like this very thin line at the bottom that's coffee, and the rest of it is just foam and cream, and it's like over top of it and everything.
Oh boy.
And like it's sprinkled with salt on top.
Oh yeah, of course.
You just gave
Well,
me
not
a
even
ridiculous
salt.
idea.
It's just like chunks of salt for the crunch.
No, it still has the salt packets on there, and it just says Procan
Yeah.
Procan salt.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
When you guys make your way into the professor's lab, he's sort of in that general lab area that he has, and there are sheets spread out all over the tabletop, and he and Ruby are sitting there, both with what looks like a cup of coffee and bowls of like cereal, looking over the stuff here, and it looks like a lot of it is like screenshots of video, especially from the ones that you guys saw in the virtual world. And then the corpse of the satellite that you guys recovered very, very early on in your careers here in Neo-Ratomy.
That was the pizza parlor, wasn't it?
Yep.
Yes, it was. I couldn't
Cheezers.
remember the actual name of the place. I don't think it was Cheezers.
Wasn't it?
No.
Because I didn't use the actual the Test Wave 2 stuff. Hey, I'm sorry. I think I might have gotten a little drunk last night.
Yes, I believe you were intoxicated. I wrote it in the report, but I'm not going to share with anybody other than this group because I do not want to flood your reputation. Not that it was very good to
appreciate
begin with.
That part I appreciate less.
I only speak the truth.
Anyway, he just slaps down a pile of papers. I took the liberty to print some stuff out for you guys actually go looking more into he slapped it and slides it over across the table in front of you.
I like neatly clean it up and make sure that like take a stapler out of my leg and just
Goodness gracious. Oh yeah, he's gonna reach like around with his hood and like pull a document out and like AR flick it to your phone. So he's gonna send over his like 5-page typed report of his impressions during the whole debacle with the chemists and everything. Because he likes writing papers while drunk, apparently.
I appreciate a good paper.
The professor is like, so, I was up for a little later than I anticipated, even though I was, ostensibly supposed to eat and then sleep. But that didn't really come easily to me after all of this stuff. But, so I was looking into it, and I think that the chemist is not alone in this. Based on what Koyo has mentioned about this, about them operating on different kinds of creatures, and the fact that he was operating in the virtual world, which from what I remember of the chemist when we were colleagues, was not a thing that he did on the regular. I think he's working with somebody else that has, I think, more capability, more proficiency and experience with the virtual world, and potentially somebody that also has a familiarity with this this sort of like a psionic, telepathic magic that I've been reading about, that they have been trying to improve upon. And it almost seems like they're trying to make a Cyblight, but without all of the flaws of a Cyblight, if that makes any sense. Something that can think on its own. Something that can...
Something that wants to spread the virus, doesn't just get told to spread the virus.
Hold on. Are we talking about actively working to make the most dangerous infectious plague of our universe even more effective?
He says, weirdly, so from what I was looking at, it looks like they're trying to retain the powers that having the hive mind grants, but maintain autonomy, so that they maintain goals that don't align with the hive mother brain. And it looks like they were trying to use the psionic magics, telepathy, something. It looks a lot like Mind Flayer work, honestly. There are some very, very dark texts and studies from when, from prior years during the Galactic War, when we first encountered extraterrestrial mind flayers, that this is looking like that sort of stuff.
History check.
You guys would know
25.
that
Dirty 20.
Well, of course you would know. This secret agent, special operative guest star character.
What's an extraterrestrial?
That would be somebody not from this planet.
So the Machine War was about 420 years ago. The Galactic War was about 500 years ago.
This is a history check?
Yes.
Okay. Sorry, continue.
And during that war, basically an invading army of Illithids came from the depths of space and started conquering planets. They managed to seize control of like the nearest cluster of planets just outside the polyhedral system. So like we have the Radix is the D12, there's like a D6, a D4, a D8 or whatever. The nearest planet that isn't weird shaped like that, they managed to capture before they were defeated by the fleets of Subnautica, Neo-Radami, Neonopolis, and the Federation of Henshin, which is basically the Henshin that exist on planets that aren't Radix. There are life on the other planets in the solar system, but their Henshin command is slightly separate from the Ranger command of Radix. The equivalent of like the police and the FBI. They work together, but they've got different jurisdictions.
Right. Like the Alien Rangers.
Yeah.
SPD versus like the Angel Grove 5 or whatever.
Yeah.
Do they even have a name?
So
Mighty Morphin?
Yeah, those guys.
Those nerds.
Yeah, those fucks.
He's like, so there have always been stories of illithids on Radix. They were usually a thing that came from like, you know, the bowels of the Underdark. It wasn't until the Galactic War that they came in mass, and that knowledge of their abilities and their sciences became a little bit more common, which is where I learned about some of it. Yeah, I feel like whatever's been going on, whatever the chemist was planning, it's been a long time cooking.
So the use of this alien technology is outlawed?
He's like, so they don't. There are obviously no more intergalactic illithid on Radix. There are like illithid. It's not illegal to be born one.
I just needed to know if this was being done illicitly or not.
What does the word
I love it. I want to hate it. I love it.
Aya doesn't know.
Oh, an illithid is a mind flayer.
Okay. Thank you.
Tentacle face. Sorry.
Thank you.
Maybe Cthulhu's.
That's their
I'm sorry, I'm 5 years old, okay?
It's okay. He's like, so I am my tentative guess is I think he might have a mind flayer working with him, the chemist.
Well, that will certainly.
I do not think it's one that is from the Galactic War, because I do not think that illithids typically live that long. I know that dragons do. For all I know, the chemist is even older than I thought, but that was my best guess.
Is the chemist a dragon?
Yes, he is a Tesla dragon.
Got it. Okay.
In-universe question. Do the non-invasive, I guess, nativized illithids, resident illithids, do they have some kind of a dietary alternative to consuming intelligence? Do they have like true blood for like true brains? I don't know, what are we going here?
They're not exceptionally common. They pretty much went underground during that war. Literally in many cases to the Underdark. There are always rumors of like, oh, this crime boss is actually a mind flayer in disguise, and then others, there have been stories about this one particular businessman who, it came out years later, was pretending to be an illithid the whole time just because he thought it made him sound way cooler. There's not a lot known about them. It is possible for them to... So, like, cloning capabilities make it so that you can just clone new organs. So that's the way that most of them would survive if they were to do so legally. It's probably not the kindest existence. He's like, yeah, I'm thinking there's this person that's bringing this skill at the psionist power stuff into it. And if you couldn't tell by the name, I was the tech part of our team when I worked with the chemist. He's not the most mechanically and computer literate, considering he's old as shit.
just having this like wonderful image of him like trying to like upload an image.
Into my
yeah. I can't see the messages on my phone.
He's
you
like,
need to turn it on.
He's not an imbecile, obviously, because he's a Tesla dragon. But I feel like the hoops that I had to jump through to crack into that computer and to make it so that that data didn't self-destruct the moment I touched it, he has somebody that can twist the code in an incredibly powerful way.
Oh, you don't say.
Interesting.
The what now?
The code. He's got somebody that can do what I do.
Somebody that's fantastic at hacking or building databases.
Really good at
thing.
We have a couple.
Good at access.
But real quick, he says, I know that Mark has a thing to go to, and there's a chance that may lead Miss Koyo into her lead of whatever she found. Be careful. If you're infected, you might not notice immediately. So you need to watch each other. And if you start to exhibit any kind of personality changes, if they start doing anything strange, you need to act on it. And there are spells that can cure it. I don't know that any of you know them.
Hey,
this is more disease than like corruption.
Yes,
right?
this is a disease. It would be, I believe it's greater restoration would get rid of
is there something to prevent, like, add a character question, is there something that would prevent it, like something that
or something?
Yeah,
like a vaccine?
Oh!
That'll drop.
He said that.
Sorry, I mean like to like make sure that protection.
Or is that maybe our purpose?
I don't think lesser restoration removes disease. I think it has to be greater.
Even still, where this is a high-powered virus.
Yeah, I will say there would need to be greater restoration. He says there's not. It's like there's not a vaccine for it. I'm willing to take a crack at it. But the satellites were.
I have gas masks in my storage, but I don't know if they'll do anything.
It's more. It's transmitted by touch. They're minuscule, microscopic nanomachines that infect a living body.
She'll like pull up a bag of like silicone gloves.
It's like it might help. I'm not 100% sure. I've never been infected, obviously. I will do what research I can to try and see how we would negate some of that. But it's transmitted by touch. It is incredibly powerful. And a lot of times you don't start showing symptoms until it's too late. The big thing that I worry about, though, I know many of you use magic and abilities. They have this interesting and delightfully infuriating thing that they can do, where they can adapt to something. Once they have experienced a sensation, they can sort of analyze it and reduce the effectiveness of that attack in the future. So Daiyo, I would strongly recommend mixing up the kind of weapons that you invest in the future. He's like, I don't have a ton of experience fighting the things, but yeah, And at that point, you guys actually see Ruby look up from the notes where she had been flipping through the same pages he's talking about, and she says, I do have experience fighting them, though.
Question. When they're in a group-like situation, have they ever been encountered together?
Cyblights encountered together?
Yes.
Not in hundreds of years.
My question was, do they share resistances amongst themselves in a group, or do they individually have their own particular resistance tables that they assemble?
I think it's an individual. The lesser ones, they can only maintain that sort of a chemical defense for a certain amount of time, an hour or a day, depending on how advanced the disease is.
Can they maintain multiple immunities, or do they have to swap them out?
I've heard stories of a particularly devastating one that it could make itself effectively immune to all spells. It didn't exactly well, so when a Cyblight is hit by a specific spell, they can become immune to that. And there are stories that there are certain of the Cyblight warriors that intentionally inflicted those spells upon themselves to gain immunity to them. During the war, they were called the Final Ultimate Kill Machines Enhanced.
Oh, that's not intimidating at all.
The soldiers at the time called them the fuck me's because
That's what you're saying if you encounter one. No, of course, I see it perfectly. Right?
Yeah.
I don't get it.
Well, you see, when a man loves another man very much,
he boops him on the snoot.
They boop him on the snoot.
I don't want to talk about it.
About it.
He says, anyway, what I'm trying to say is you guys have to
on that?
go for it.
All right. I think I got a dirty 20.
Nice.
Deception. I'm gonna roll my lucky because I had sleep. Yeah, deception. I have 16. You're good. You got it.
She's very good at insight.
Context clues also help with that.
Ruby sort of sits up and she's like, so I don't know anything about the fuck me's. That was obviously before my time, but when my brother and I were kids, we happened upon a pile of ruins on the outskirts of town while we were camping, and they weren't abandoned. And he found one of the last limping, surviving Cyblight drones. And it killed him instantly. And it infected me. And
Simon's going to take a step back.
That's why the professor knows that it can be cured, because I was the first test subject. I was the first person in hundreds of years that had been infected, and I was the first person to be cured of it. It's why I work with him now, because he's the only person in the city that I trust that can actually find these things and make sure that we take them down. She's like, I know that I don't have the capability of doing what you guys do, but I want to do whatever I can to help.
Absolutely.
These things, I've read so many horror stories. She's like, I know it's morbid to do research on the thing that killed your brother like that, but these are the things that almost won the machine war. The satellites are the reason that the heroes out of time had to almost nuke the city.
What?
But as terrifying it is seeing that there are more of these things running around. Seeing them means that we can find them and we can stop them.
So what's the move now? Do we just, I don't know, wait for some kind of a digital signal that they give off, or surveillance and just get lucky, or what? I mean, what do we have a lead even?
Well, we don't really have. The professor's like, I can try and hook something up. Most of my stuff tracks corruption, and they're not technically corrupted.
I might be able to help with that. I'm pretty good at this kind of thing, and also I've been researching them, so perhaps I can correspond with you on.
Actually, to that, Koyo, I have a knack for hearing. If you have a recording of one of their cries, maybe we can make a sort of signal catch.
Did the videos have like sound?
I will say that yeah, you do have one that has sound. Most of the time when they talk in this sort of distorted version of whatever their human voice would be, or more monstrous voice for the handful of things that you've heard of, Koyo. But they all do have that same sort of like mechanical undertone to it that resonates through all of them. That sounds very familiar. Which
it's an electronic low
basically
low level, yeah.
It sounds sort of like Scotty's note boop thing.
Note boop thing.
Boop thing.
The note boop thing. He's like, I can start working on something like that. I could probably.
You have a recording. I can start working on that with Koyo. So
yes, I do. She'll pull out an iPad and be like, here you go.
All right. And I'm going to actually take this opportunity to go over to you because I'm trying to give you a help action, damn it. But also, I'm going to take a moment just to say, "Gomenasai, tsukareta yorushite."
Is that Saren?
That's what BS is assuming.
That sounds Saren.
Okay, but like, is it though? Because I don't know.
So it's Japanese.
Well, yes, obviously.
And I'm saying, I'm sorry. I was tired. Please forgive me.
I will say, yeah, sure. That's yeah.
Yeah.
And she'll reply with, then don't come to the meeting next time.
Oh my goodness.
I speak Saren, so I can hear that.
Yeah. It's like you know the famous movie Saren Samurai. Kurosawa.
Voxhart out.
Oh,
it's good.
Fun so bad I killed Bob.
You don't have a chance with this girl. She's not.
No, that's not the point. He was genuine. He was
the whole point is
insight on whether or not he was a genuine Venus.
No.
There you go.
To be honest, I would watch that movie, Saren Samurai.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so I give you the help action to start making a thing. That's all.
He's like, so we can work on that. I'll be honest, I was a little bit sloshed because it doesn't take a lot for me at my age. Miss Koyo, did you say something about a jersey at one of your crime scenes?
Yes, I have a Do I have it, or did?
Yeah, I'll say you have like a small sample of it.
Okay, so she'll like pull out like an evidence bag and be like, "We found this at the crime scene. From the connections that I've made, and the fact that Berkeley is on your team, and you know, it could be anybody's, but this narrows it down if he knows who you are and he knows who your team is. I assume that he's gonna go after Berkeley. It could be wrong, and I could be completely off base, but that is my assumption.
For what it's worth, Bark, when you were told that your teammate had injured himself, it was like a regular sporting injury. Like, he jumped too far and basically
broke a bone?
Did the effect of like whatever it would be for a knee injury to a Restless.
He popped his kneecap and can't find it.
So if you so there's a chance of getting infected via touch, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would keep a distance if you can. It's not.
As long as my coach doesn't know about it, I can just send in a hologram, perfectly tangible, works just fine. Uses my same stats and everything. It's a duplicate of me, mechanically.
Simon has a quick idea. He pulls his hairpin in disguise out and shoves it in his afro, and suddenly he looks like Simon.
That is disturbing and
ingenious,
Bark. That's actually a pretty solid plan, yeah.
It just be careful, but I do think that we should go anyway to investigate.
Oh, of course.
If my assumption is not correct, but you are the most
qualified.
Awesome.
High profile target.
Amazing.
Thank you. That's the one. Most out there in the world.
You would have the most visibility of being attacked, so you would have the most social impact of sowing discord and anarchy.
You do constantly stream where you are, and that seems like a security matter that you really should take care of.
Yeah, we've been working on it. He's been getting better.
Okay, good.
He wasn't streaming just now, was he? He looks over at him and is like, right?
The like silence of, oh no.
No.
So I will say that you guys will spend the next hour or so making this plan of how you want to go with sending in a holographic duplicate of Bark and then hiding the real Bark with a illusion, building this audio sensor to search and find the voices of
a Cyblight sensor, if you will.
Cyblight sensor?
Cyblight sonar, if you want to get real technical.
Oh.
I was going to say, Simon would want to propose after this whole Cyblight sound sensor thing is over, if he might not be able to borrow that for some other purpose.
And if you guys want to have any other plans or preparation before you have this, you guys started out pretty early. The game isn't until like 6 this evening, so you guys have several hours to prepare or do any shopping that you may need to do.
I need
we're
to go
gonna do that next time.
I will go and buy like thicker gloves.
Okay. So write down whatever it is that you want to do next time. And we will start with our guest again for announcements because it ran a little late again.
They always run
Sort of guest. Beloved guest that's here all the time now. Bob, what do you got going on?
Yeah, just let me know when I'm part of the team. Hey, hi, Worldwide Sentai. This is Bob Skerry.
You're always part of the team.
Scotty Hood's channel. Yeah, so I am doing my best to try and get my voice acting up and running, including having a Ko-fi and a Patreon, all of which are under the same handle, Bob Skerry VOA. If you want to find that or anything else like my demos, or if you want to get a hold of me, just go to, I will throw it in the chat right now, my link tree.
Bless you.
Bless you.
And you will be able to hang out, make a friend, hopefully a contact because Bob's needing to get paid, son. But also, if you're tired of hearing me talk about myself, you could always wake yourself up with some Found Familiar. Yes, if you go to foundfamiliar.com/BobSkerryVOA, you'll be able to go and find a plethora of different coffee and coffee-related accessories. You fill up your cart, you use my handle, that fun and fantastic friend of yours, Voxhart, just Voxhart, and you'll get 10% off. How about that?
Yeah.
Wow.
Cycling around, Jesse, what do you got? Have you got going on?
Next up Sunday morning is the Waterdeep game, and last time we drove off a Dracolich and we wiped out the nerd that tried to summon a demon on us because we wouldn't sell him dragon parts. And I think we're about to go deal with Uncle What's His Nuts.
Oh yeah.
There's so many words in that's just nonsense.
Well, I can't be bothered to remember his name because ultimately he's going to die, and probably horribly, and it'll be amazing. There'll be singing, there'll be laughter, there'll be tears. There might be a dragon. I don't know. We'll see.
I really hope so.
Sunday mornings on this channel.
I wanted so bad to get fastballed special with that fucking dragon.
Yeah, sorry, my stone or my Earth Elemental.
It wouldn't have mattered. Like, there was no way I can get an additional 20 feet on that. Anyway, that's the thing. Go watch Waterdeep, where my fucking stupid ass drunken monk dwarf decides to try and leap 40 feet into the air to catch a dragon and punch it in the face.
Oh my god, 40-foot vertical leaps.
Okay. I could jump 27 feet. I just couldn't clear the other,
13.
Rest of it. Yeah, there you go. I couldn't come up with the word. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. Who's up next? Lluis, what have you got going on?
Art.
Yes, he does amazing commissions. Commission this man.
Yeah.
Do it.
I do the art.
He does the art. I mean, that is...
The art is good. I talk to the boy
oh my
up
god,
all the
have you
time.
Have you posted that art of crypto?
I have.
That
Yeah,
shit is
it's
amazing.
so good.
It's awesome.
It's
So
so
good.
good.
I love the color choices too.
Yeah. I mean, that's all Reese's ideas.
Oh,
so.
even better. Good call on the color choices, Reese.
Yeah, your design is top notch, Baba.
Try and find the hidden reference.
Yeah, there's a really nerdy reference that I'm so proud, and I'm so happy you got it.
We'll go with Reese next. What do you got going on?
I have got nothing going on except work all the time. Go check out Lluis though, seriously. And everyone else on here, go check them out because they're all awesome. Yeah.
Heck yeah.
Oh, Kumbaya.
Aya, what about you?
Hello, everybody. I'm Aya. You can find me on Aya Golder on all the places. Please commission me too. I do also art if you would like some. Not as great as Lluis's, but also very cute.
It's as great, by the way.
Oh.
Anyway, you can just find my stuff on my Twitter. All of the information is there. I love you all, and I hope that everybody is having a nice night.
Callie?
Hello. I'm Callie. You can find me at Callie on Twitter. I do art. I'm going to be opening $8 bus commissions again.
Yeah.
Because I need money.
Money! Capitalist Hellscape!
She also does heckin' cute arts. She did an action.
Yes.
So cute.
My axolotl guy for me
this.
recently. Oh yeah,
So cute!
It's Lyra doodles during Retroverse
I had
live.
an active brain tonight, so I had
It
to,
happens.
and I have normal commissions open, so if you want normal commissions, yeah.
Let's see.
Sorry, I also forgot a thing. There might be something special that Scotty and I are cooking up, so look out for that.
Whoa. I'm intrigued.
Anyway,
It's a bark
For-
cookbook.
Me,
that would be amazing, but horrifying.
God, Barkley cooked.
It's just a salt catalog from Morton's.
It's called Assault and Battery.
3 salt blocks, pound each. It's like the first ingredient for everything, but everything else is just normal recipes.
My next thing is Trackless Sea, which I'm super excited about because we might finally be getting the Candlekeep or some shit. And I don't know,
That's all
maybe
up to
seeing
you.
like Varth's background or something. Who knows? It's wild. I'm super pumped for it. Yeah, that's my next thing. I'm glad you guys had fun. I did not have a lot of planning to do for this. For those who might not have noticed, I recently got a job finally again.
Yay!
It's been a long week. Yeah. So, I'm good. Scotty, what have you got going on?
Well, those of you that are watching live on Twitch, a good friend of mine, Uncanny Adventures on Twitch, also known as Jeanette, had told me about a few things that you can do on Twitch that I didn't know because I'm apparently a boomer or something. I don't know. But anyway, down below, you can see a list of all the YouTube playlists for all the campaigns that I ran on this show.
Ooh,
I still
like
need to put
that.
Chaos Crew on there, but that will be on there as well.
Excellent.
And
Rad.
kind of mentioned
Please
it.
go watch Chaos Crew. It is the most insane bullshit you will ever get to see.
That's on Dylan's channel. I don't know what. I think it's just Dylan Ramsey. On
It's
YouTube.
either Dylan Ramsey or KKRP12.
But they're also available here on Twitch for now. I know Twitch will eventually move them, but in any case, there's that, and I do a lot of work with 5th edition stuff. I already mentioned I'm working on something with her. If you need any freelancer work on that, I do designs. I do just writing up the rules and stuff for it. If you're just like, hey, I want to make a helicopter race or something, I'll be like, okay, sure, we'll make a Transformers helicopter race, whatever. But
I'm just reminded of like that one Game Grumps game where it's like, oh, Metal Bird.
that's. Oh, I was also thinking Game Grumps, but I was thinking when there was the two guys where you like play on split screen with each other, and the one guy's son was apparently a helicopter or something. Like that was the joke. Anyway. If you're interested in any of the freelance work or anything, my name's down below, and I just wanted to say last minute I enjoy these shows, and they are the highlight of my week. So thank you, everybody.
They're mine too.
I
Yeah.
apologize for any time I DM you.
You're fine.
So it's been great. I have laughed so hard. We will see you guys next week.
All right.
Go away.
Ciao.